Exploring the 1850s, a nation divided by slavery and the Compromise of 1850. The political climate of the 1850s in America was a period of intense division and debate, setting the stage for significant events in the nation's history. This era was characterized by escalating tensions between the North and South over issues such as states' rights, territorial expansion, and, most critically, slavery. These disputes not only shaped the political landscape, but also foreshadowed the impending crisis that would lead to the Civil War. The Compromise of 1850 emerged as a pivotal legislative package aimed at quelling the sectional disputes. Crafted through a series of bills, it sought to address the contentious issues surrounding slavery and territorial expansion. Key components included the admission of California as a free state, the establishment of territorial governments in lands acquired from Mexico, with the question of slavery to be decided by popular sovereignty, and the enactment of a stricter fugitive slave law. Henry Clay played a crucial role in formulating the Compromise of 1850. Known as the Great Compromiser, Clay's adeptness at negotiation and his deep commitment to preserving the Union were instrumental in bringing together a deeply divided Congress. His ability to navigate the complex political landscape of the time highlighted his enduring legacy as a statesman. From the North's perspective, the Compromise presented a mixed bag. While the admission of California as a free state and the abolition of the slave trade in the District of Columbia were seen as victories, the stringent fugitive slave law was met with widespread disdain. Many Northerners were morally opposed to the law, viewing it as a direct affront to their principles of freedom and justice. Conversely, the South viewed the Compromise through a lens of cautious optimism and skepticism. The strengthening of the Fugitive Slave Act was a significant win, as it promised to enforce the return of escaped slaves. However, the admission of California as a free state and the possibility of slavery being banned in new territories were points of contention, fueling further debates over states' rights and the future of slavery in America. The Fugitive Slave Act, part of the Compromise of 1850, cast a long shadow over the northern states, compelling citizens to partake in the recapture of escaped slaves. Its stringent measures incited a wave of indignation, catalyzing a more organized and defiant underground railroad network. The North's growing opposition to slavery was now palpably reflected in its resistance to this law, illustrating a deepening divide within the nation. California's admission to the Union as a free state under the Compromise was a monumental step that shifted the delicate balance of power. This event not only underscored the growing sectional tensions, but also highlighted the Union's expansionist ambitions. The implications were profound, setting a precedent for future states and intensifying the debate over slavery's expansion. The crafting of the Compromise saw Henry Clay assuming a central role, leveraging his extensive political experience to navigate the tumultuous waters of American politics. His efforts to balance the interests of both North and South, though momentarily successful, underscored the precarious nature of the Union. Clay's legacy, thus, became intertwined with the quest for a temporary peace over an enduring divide. Under President Zachary Taylor's administration, the Compromise discussions took a distinctive turn. Taylor's initial opposition to any compromise that expanded slavery territories highlighted the internal conflicts within the government. His unexpected death, however, paved the way for his successor, Millard Fillmore, to embrace and advance the Compromise, demonstrating the profound impact of presidential leadership on the course of American history. Millard Fillmore's ascendancy to the presidency marked a pivotal moment for the Compromise of 1850. With a more conciliatory stance towards the South and a firm commitment to the Union, Fillmore's support was crucial in the Compromise's enactment. His presidency thus stands as a testament to the influence of executive backing in the legislative process, shaping the nation's trajectory amidst its gravest crisis yet. The Compromise of 1850, a delicate mosaic of legislative acts, was significantly influenced by the burgeoning abolitionist movement. This fervent crusade against slavery, permeating the moral and political discourse of the era, pushed for more stringent measures against the expansion of slavery, setting a backdrop of urgency for Henry Clay's legislative craftsmanship. Henry Clay, known as the Great Compromiser, played a pivotal role in sculpting the Compromise. His adept negotiation skills and deep understanding of the Union's fragile state were instrumental in drafting a series of measures aimed at quelling the boiling tensions between the North and South, albeit temporarily. From the North's perspective, the compromise was a mixed bag. While it allowed for California's admission as a free state and banned the slave trade in Washington, D.C., the inclusion of the Fugitive Slave Act was a bitter pill to swallow. This act compelled Northerners to partake in the recapture of escaped slaves, igniting widespread moral and political backlash. Conversely, the South viewed the compromise through a lens of cautious optimism. The enforcement of the Fugitive Slave Act and the possibility of slavery expanding into new territories provided some solace. However, the admission of California as a free state and the uncertainty regarding the future of slavery in America lingered as points of contention. The Fugitive Slave Act, in particular, left an indelible mark on the northern states, exacerbating tensions and fueling the flames of abolitionism. It transformed personal and political landscapes, compelling many to confront the harsh realities of slavery and pushing the nation further along the path to civil war, despite the compromise's intentions to provide a temporary peace. The expansion of the Underground Railroad in the 1850s marked a critical period of defiance against the Fugitive Slave Act, part of the Compromise of 1850. This network of secret routes and safe houses became a beacon of hope for many enslaved individuals, facilitating their journey towards freedom in northern states and Canada. The Fugitive Slave Act itself had a profound impact on northern states, exacerbating tensions between the North and South. It mandated that citizens assist in the capture of escaped slaves and penalize those who aided in their escape. This law brought the issue of slavery into the heart of the North, sparking widespread outrage and resistance. California's admission to the Union as a free state under the Compromise had significant implications. It disrupted the balance of power between free and slave states, intensifying the national debate over slavery. This pivotal moment underscored the growing divide and set the stage for escalating conflicts over slavery in new territories. The debate over slavery in territories acquired from Mexico was central to the compromise discussions. The question of whether these territories would be admitted as free or slave states highlighted the sectional divide. This debate underscored the pressing need to address the expansion of slavery, contributing to the formulation of the compromise. President Zachary Taylor's role in the compromise discussions was complex. Initially, he opposed any compromise that would extend slavery, but died suddenly before the compromise was passed. His successor, Millard Fillmore, supported the compromise, ensuring its passage. This leadership shift was crucial in changing the course of the compromise's acceptance. The role of public opinion and media in shaping the debate over the Compromise of 1850 cannot be understated. Newspapers, pamphlets, and speeches played a crucial role in informing the public and influencing sentiment on both sides of the slavery issue. This era marked a significant moment when media began to emerge as a powerful tool in shaping political discourse. Economic factors also played a pivotal role in the compromise discussions. The expansion into new territories brought forth questions about the economic systems that would dominate, free labor or slavery. This debate was not just about morality, but also about economic interests, with the South seeking to protect its agrarian economy while the North looked towards industrialization. The Compromise of 1850 holds a unique place in American legal history. It was an intricate series of laws that attempted to balance the demands of free and slave states. This legal balancing act highlighted the complexities of federalism and states' rights, concepts that continue to challenge the United States legal system. Internationally, the slavery debate and the Compromise of 1850 attracted considerable attention. European nations, many of which had abolished slavery by this time, watched closely. America's struggle with the slavery issue underscored the broader global fight against oppression and the quest for human rights, affecting diplomatic relations and international perspectives on democracy. The effect of the Compromise on future territorial admissions was profound. By setting a precedent for how new states could enter the Union, either as free or slave, it laid the groundwork for future conflicts and debates. This aspect of the Compromise underscored the unresolved nature of the slavery issue and its persistent ability to divide the nation. The Fugitive Slave Act, part of the Compromise of 1850, cast a long shadow over the lives of many, tearing families apart. Personal stories of those who fled in fear of being returned to bondage or separated from their loved ones highlight the human cost of this legislation. The Compromise's legacy in modern American politics is complex. It serves as a reminder of the country's struggle with race and equality, showing how deeply entrenched issues of slavery were. The echoes of these debates can still be felt today, influencing discussions on civil rights and social justice. The intense debates within Congress leading up to the Compromise showcased the nation's divide. Lawmakers from both the North and South passionately argued their positions, reflecting the broader societal tensions. These debates were a precursor to the even more tumultuous conflicts that would erupt in the following decade. Women played a crucial role in the anti-slavery movement during the 1850s, using their voices and actions to challenge the status quo. Their participation helped to broaden the movement's base and bring emotional depth to the abolitionist cause, highlighting the moral and ethical arguments against slavery. The Compromise of 1850 also influenced the era's literature and art, serving as a backdrop for works that explored themes of freedom, captivity, and the moral dilemmas of slavery. These works helped to humanize the enslaved, fostering empathy and support for the abolitionist movement among the broader public. Political cartoons of the era vividly depicted the Compromise debates, serving as both a mirror and a catalyst for public opinion. Through satire and symbolism, these illustrations highlighted the contentious issues, making complex political arguments accessible and engaging to the broader populace, thus playing a crucial role in shaping the discourse. The Compromise of 1850 significantly influenced the 1852 presidential election, with parties aligning and fracturing over their stances on the agreement. The political landscape was polarized, and voter sentiment on the Compromise became a defining issue, demonstrating how deeply entwined politics and the slavery debate had become in the fabric of American society. Judicial interpretations of the Compromise of 1850 played a pivotal role in its legacy, with courts often tasked with resolving disputes arising from its provisions. The judiciary's decisions not only affected the lives of countless individuals, but also set precedents that would influence the legal battles leading up to the Civil War. The concept of popular sovereignty, which allowed territories to decide on the issue of slavery, was a critical aspect of the Compromise. This principle attempted to balance political power, but ultimately heightened tensions, as it led to violent conflicts in territories like Kansas, showcasing the limitations of such a compromise. After the Compromise of 1850, the balance of free and slave states in the Senate became an even more contentious issue. While the Compromise sought to maintain an equilibrium, it only underscored the fragile nature of this balance, setting the stage for further division and conflict as the nation continued to expand westward. The Compromise of 1850 left a profound psychological impact on the nation, embedding deep-seated divisions that would echo through the decades. It highlighted the fragility of national unity, casting a long shadow over the collective American psyche and underscoring the volatile nature of the Union's peace. During the 1850s, the American political system underwent significant evolution, shaped by the contentious debates and policies surrounding slavery. This period of intense political maneuvering and compromise laid the groundwork for future conflicts, pushing the nation toward an inevitable confrontation over its moral and constitutional principles. Diplomacy played a crucial but often overlooked role in the sectional conflicts that characterized the era. Efforts to maintain peace and balance between free and slave states involved delicate negotiations, which, while temporarily successful, ultimately revealed the limitations of diplomacy in resolving deeply entrenched societal issues. The influence of the Compromise on the conduct of the Civil War was undeniable. By postponing the inevitable conflict, it allowed for the further entrenchment of ideologies on both sides, making the war, when it came, far more brutal and divisive than it might have otherwise been. The enduring legacy of the Compromise of 1850 on American society and governance cannot be overstated. It marked a critical juncture in the nation's history, laying bare the profound divisions that would lead to civil war. Its consequences continue to shape American political discourse, reminding us of the complexities of governance and the importance of seeking unity amidst diversity.